Hey guys, so before we deep dive into Jira and get to know Jira as a product, I thought I'd spend a few minutes talking to you a little bit about Jira and its history, and Atlassian and its history, and a little bit about the company, etc. And of course, I'm not going to spend a lot on this, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of background because I always think it's important for you to understand a little bit of history and background on the products that you're using. So a lot of you might not be aware, but Jira and Atlassian are actually Australian companies, which is great because, as you know, I'm Australian. So I'm pretty proud because Atlassian is just one of those huge success companies here in Australia and worldwide. It's one of those unicorns. It's one of those companies that has done great things, not only for Australia as a country, but for the world and the tech industry worldwide. And obviously, they're now huge. They're a big company. They're no longer just here in Australia, but they have offices across the world. And their products are used, especially in particular, a lot of their products are used worldwide, not just Jira, but Jira is like, seriously, it is the Ferrari, it is the Mercedes-Benz. It is the top of the line, the best product and the most widely used product for agile project management and agile development. And that's why a lot of you, it won't come to you as a surprise when you see about Jira or that you've heard about Jira before, because it is quite popular. It is the most widely used tool for managing agile projects. And like I said, it doesn't have to be just IT. Like I said before, it doesn't have to be just IT projects, but it is most commonly used for IT projects. Obviously, because Agile, as you all know, was born in the IT industry, but that doesn't mean, of course, that you can't apply Agile to other industries or to other types of projects. Yes, you can. Agile is not just for IT, even though it was born in IT. Nowadays, it's used in marketing, HR, finance, pretty much any industry you can think of. And the same goes for Jira as a product. It is used pretty much in any industry you can think of. And let's just go to the Atlassian page. And I also want to take you to Wikipedia, wikipedia.org. The world's encyclopedia. So if you go here to Jira software, the second one, you'll be able to see directly in Wikipedia information about Jira. And this is the Wikipedia Jira page. And it basically shows you a little bit of, Jira's history. And as you can see here, the initial release of Jira was in 2002. So that's a while ago. Which means that Jira is a very mature product. It's a very robust, well-structured product. It was written in Java, for those that are developers and know a bit about technology, about different technologies. Jira was written in Java. It is cross-platform, meaning you can use Jira, on a Mac, on a Windows device, on a Linux, on anything you can use Jira. There's no issues with using Jira in any type of device that you're using. And the company, like I said before, the company is Atlassian, the company that founded. And just something that I thought was interesting when I was reading a bit about history of Jira ages ago, is the product name, Gojira, which is the Japanese word for Godzilla, the monster, the dinosaur Godzilla. So in Japanese, the word they use for Godzilla is Gojira. And then when you shorten that, Jira, it's just how they gave the name to this software in this company, in Atlassian. Like I said, Atlassian is Australian, but the product is now used worldwide. And if we go to the Atlassian website, just Atlassian.com, that's ATLSSIAN.com, Atlassian, ATLASSIAN.com. You'll get to this website and you can see a lot more about their products. Obviously the first one you see is Jira, because like I said, it is their most widely used and most popular product. And just so you know, Atlassian is hugely successful. Like I said, as a company, they generally grow on, between 30 and 40% year on year. So their growth is huge. They have hundreds of thousands of users worldwide, and they make billions in revenue. One of the guys that co-founded Atlassian, which is Mike Cannon Brooks, He's a bit like the Steve Jobs, the Australian Steve Jobs. He's this tech guy, an entrepreneur who came, built JIRA from nothing, and nowadays he's one of the richest men in Australia. Obviously, he's also one of the richest men in the world. And I think, if I recall correctly, just to give you some context on how rich he is, I think the house he bought, the house he lives in, he paid about $100 million for it. It's a house here in Sydney, obviously a beautiful house. It's a mansion. It is one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive property ever bought here in Australia. And that's just to tell you a little bit about his success. I really like the guy, by the way. He's a great guy. He's very, conscious. He's always trying to help the country. He's very politically active as well. He's always commenting on different things that the country's doing, how we can improve here in Australia. And people look up to him in his company. He's very respected for everybody that works for him, for the company respects him. He still has a very active role in the company. He's still involved with it. So he hasn't stepped away from Atlassian. He's still there. And then, like I was saying before, they have different products that you can see here. Not just, of course, JIRA. JIRA Service Desk, by the way, for anyone that's familiar with ServiceNow, which is also very popular and widely used for anyone that is in, support roles, and that they have companies that are helping out people with tickets, etc. So that would be the equivalent from Atlassian would be JIRA Service Desk. And like I said here, they have a lot more information, over 150 companies worldwide. Here are just some of the companies they work with. And there's a ton of videos here and a lot of really good information. The products are all here, resources at the bottom. Expand and learn a little bit more, and then you can read more about the company's history, etc. Or you can just go directly to Wikipedia, like I said, and just enter the name here. We're looking at JIRA, but you could also search in Wikipedia for Atlassian. All right. Here it is. It's a public traded company. It trades in NASDAQ in the US. Here's the guy that I was telling you about, Mike Cannon-Brookes. He's the guy that bought that house for over $100 million or $100 million. It was founded in Sydney, here in Australia. And here are the products. The revenue of the company last year was $1.21 billion. They have over 3,000 employees. It's quite big. It's really interesting. And you can see here a little bit more history about the company, acquisitions, etc. They also own Trello, by the way. So if you are using Trello.com, which is also heavily used worldwide, so this is now an Atlassian product. It wasn't actually created by Atlassian, by the way. They bought that company a few years back, and now they own it. But yeah, so just like I said, I wanted to give you just a quick bit of history around Atlassian and around JIRA. Another product, and I'll probably talk about this in a different course, because this course is about JIRA, but there's another really popular product from Atlassian called Confluence. So if we search here Confluence, if you went to, I guess, Google, google.com, if that's what you wanted to, and just search for Confluence. So you'll probably get the software. This is an ad, so I'm going to ignore that. But if I went here, Confluence from Atlassian right here. So it'll take you to the Confluence page. It's a bit like a Confluence, just so you know, and again, I'm just sharing a bit of history. It's a little bit like a knowledge base or like a wiki, but created by Atlassian for people to collaborate on projects. And I'm not going to go into detail of that right now because it'll probably be a separate course. But I wanted to give you, like I said before, a little bit of history and a little bit of background on Atlassian, which is a company that created JIRA, and on JIRA as well. And that's why we're here in the Wikipedia page. And I'm not going to read this, of course, all for you. You can read it yourself. But I just wanted to show you that you can find this if you went to Wikipedia, a little bit of information about Atlassian and also more information about JIRA. So this is a good place for you to just get a bit of background, and of course in the website itself and the Atlassian company website itself, you can read a little bit more about them and about what they do. Some really cool stats. Offices in 7 countries, 4,000 Atlassians, 132 million donated to community, 2.6 million community members. You can see here, and then you can see here a bit more about their history in this timeline. If you go here to the back about how it all started, and of course, there's more and more information here about values of Atlassian as a company and what they do. Anyway, this is a really cool company. You know, it's like Google, like Amazon, like one of those really, or like Apple is one of those really high tech companies. And like I said before, it is one of the greatest companies that Australia has produced for the world. And anyway, like I said, just wanted to give you a bit of background on JIRA and Atlassian as a company, just a little bit of history. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Cheers. Bye.